Welcome to the Utah Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Utah Street Banter Podcast. I'm Cody. With me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, man?
Not much. How are you?
Just wonderful. I mean, it's been a very frustrating past few days. It feels like weeks.
Yeah.
Our O's have really, since the last time we talked, we were really nervous about going into the Yankee series.
That's not what we should have been nervous about.
No. And then, it's just been here on the East Coast, we're going through a massive drought. So it's hot. It's been 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And hasn't rained in 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. My favorite part is nothing's like working outside for 8 hours and 95 to 100 degree heat, coming home, getting a shower and trying to put on the Orioles game.
Right.
And I know on Tuesday night I was watching and got so frustrated. I just went to bed.
Just
went to bed.
It's just it's getting to me.
Yeah, I know I caught myself earlier because a few seconds ago before we started recording, I was talking to you about it, and I said, I was like, God, I feel like it's 2018, 2019 all over. It's just,
but I know we're going to get to it later, but it's the one good thing is we haven't lost a ton of ground.
Yeah, well, I guess the series with the Yankees really messed us both up because the Yankees, I think they've won one game over the past 5 games, so I think we're still 2 back.
And I think McCann said it on an interview. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and he was saying he was like, "Well, we all knew going into this 2-week period, that there was going to be the toughest week of the season."
Yeah.
So I know it's kind of sucked the past few, but it is the toughest week of the season. We kind of got our hopes up with the Phillies, and even the Yankees.
Well, I mean, you had, what was it, Braves, Phillies, Yankees, that whole stretch right there, just,
and now Guardians.
It felt like we were on top of the world.
Yeah.
And then
it just tanked real quick. Woo! All right, well, let's get started, everybody. We ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to run through a little bit different way, a way of going through the box scores. We're a day late because of Elijah.
No, absolutely not. No, that's so I don't know how much you guys procrastinate in your everyday life. Sometimes me and Cody procrastinate scheduling this podcast. We always know the day that we're supposed to do it, but normally we don't set a time of when we're going to do it till night before.
Yeah.
So I call Cody and guess where he was. He was camping this weekend.
Yeah. There was no way.
So, when I'm in college, I'm expected to get on here and zoom in basically. But when he's somewhere else, we have to take our time. Or when I go on vacation, I get replaced.
Yeah.
And Brad did great. I love what he did.
Awesome.
But
I didn't think
you didn't that's what I should have done. I should have had me and Brad come on here and say you break into your house and set it up and everything.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think about that. That's good.
That's what I should have done.
I was in the great woods of America. I don't forest.
I'd call.
I
know, obviously,
okay.
If you guys are from the Delaware, Maryland area, if you know what Killen's Pond is, that's where he was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
They have a water park. I don't know if I'd consider that the great.
But I had 1 bar of signal the whole time.
Oh, no.
It was hard.
Oh no. 1 bar.
Yeah, it took 15 seconds to download a video to watch.
If you had asked Cody 15 years ago what a bar was, he would have no clue.
Yeah, right. Yeah, back in the day. I remember can you hear me now? And that was a cell phone signal for, I think it was Sprint or something like that. That used to be a cell phone call.
Yeah, I know they went out 3 years ago.
All right, let's go. All right, so the Orioles, we had a Yankee series, and we thought this was going to be the big series of the couple weeks here. We did pretty well in this series. With the first game, Nestor Cortes beats us, and I thought that was the one game we needed to win because Nestor Cortes isn't that great compared to the rest of their pitching staff. And he ends up beating us here. We lose 4-2. Albert Suarez pitched decent. I mean, didn't do bad. But this was my worry. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is gonna get bad. In the next game, we actually end up winning 7-6. And that was pretty awesome. Kate Povich, this is the one I was super nervous about because I thought Stanton and Judge was just going to hammer off on this dude. But he did amazing. He went 4.2 innings, gave up 1 run, did great. Sino Perez kind of let them back in the game, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. We did win this game in 10 innings, but thank God we did win. The one thing I do want to point out is in this game is Kimbrel came in and got the win, but take that for what it is, because I believe, is he the one that also gave up the run?
I'm not sure. I think he
is, yep.
But yet again, it's the whole like phantom win thing where
that's what I mean. You shouldn't even be given a win for that. I guess they have to for stats.
They have to give someone a win.
Right.
Give Cedric Mullins the win.
Right.
That's what they started doing, giving offensive players wins.
Right. The next game is the most frustrating game of what I thought of. Well, it was the most frustrating game of this series. And the reason I say that is we win 17-5, absolutely destroy the Yankees, right? And this is when every Orioles fan's head couldn't fit through a door because we thought we were amazing. But Cole Irvin, I mean, even though that happened, he only goes, a 4 2/3 of an inning when you're absolutely destroying the opponent by 8 runs. And but he gives up 5 earned. So then Baker has to come in and he does amazing. Brian Baker kills it. Aiken does amazing. So your bullpen comes in, gives up 1 hit throughout the rest of the game. Through a Yankees lineup who if anybody realizes this, everybody, MLB Network didn't even know that the Yankees were playing the Orioles because it was all about,
they just knew. Yeah.
Garrett Cole. Oh, I did forget. Garrett Cole pitched the second game of the season.
Yeah.
Second game of the series. What's funny about that is I was trying to watch the game recap, and I know your dad said this too. They didn't even say who pitched for the Orioles the whole game. Cade Povich was on a perfect game through 4.
Yeah.
Right. And so all you could hear about was Garrett Cole. The Orioles didn't really win. It was just mainly because Garrett Cole needed his pitch inning limit.
Well, I mean, you also know, like when we won 17-5, you would think 17 runs is quite a bit. The only 2 posts made by the MLB official MLB Instagram account was about Judge hitting a home run that cut the lead to 14 or something, whatever it was, and then the final score, which they do for every game, for every team.
One thing we'll point out here, we're going to kind of do a recap real quick of all 3. Gunnar Henderson gets hit, clearly on purpose, which whatever. The only issue I had with this is, so they hit, Albert Suarez hits Aaron Judge, so the next game they hit Gunnar Henderson. Meanwhile, so that knocked Judge out for 2 games?
No, just 1.
1, okay. Meanwhile, Soto runs into Westburg, knocks him out for 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, and this.
But we don't hit Soto.
Yeah, exactly.
And both of them didn't mean to do it. I'm not saying Soto.
Using the Yankees' logic, we should have hit Soto
right in the forehead.
Pegged him.
Right in the forehead.
Because if I was just on Instagram and stuff, if you looked at any Orioles, anything by the Orioles or Yankees or any Instagram account post about the game, Yankees fans through the whole comments peg Gunnar in the head next at bat. Like they wanted to seriously injure these players. Gunnar and Adley, they were coming for their heads. And did you see an Orioles?
Yeah.
Want to say that? Did we hit him? Albert Suarez, if the Yankees fans want to get mad about anything, Albert Suarez didn't have command on his fastball. And when you throw a fastball up and in, it's a risky pitch. But also, you can't just say, I don't have great command. I'm not going to throw an inside pitch for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and there was a crazy stat. This is me thinking off the top of my head, so don't take these numbers as definitive. If not, just look it up, right? The Yankees have 8. They've hit the Orioles 8 times, right?
Yeah.
And the Orioles have hit the Yankees twice. And obviously, the only thing I will say is, boy, if there's one guy to take out of the lineup, they picked the best one. I mean, the hottest hitter in baseball at that time. So Gunnar, of course, it helped us win the game.
Yeah,
we win by 1. Gunnar steals second on him, base hit, we score. So thank God, because if you're an Orioles fan, you've known that it sometimes can be hard to get a run in. Not in the 17-run one.
No,
but,
and I mean that game was just you can't expect anything.
Yeah, but
just did great.
But it was just one of those things where right coming off of this game, we thought we were just hot, we're on fire, nobody can stop us. We're going to a terrible Astros team, and we get swept. We lose the first game 14-11. Grayson does absolutely awful, and
not even though really. He didn't I'm not gonna say he did good, but what was it? Only 5 earned,
7 earned. Elisha.
Oh, okay.
7 through 5.
I had the numbers mixed up.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Sure. I thought it was 5 and 5.
And then Jacob Webb comes in, and
I think that inning was.
He gives up 4 without getting an out.
That may have been an issue too. At least Grayson got some outs. But the problem I had here is the fact that our bullpen, I think, just gave up.
You're just exhausted.
Well, I know they're exhausted, but
I feel it.
14 runs. And the problem is what did we score? 7 runs in the 7th or 8th or something like that?
Yeah, 7.
7, yeah. The fact that we scored that and we're still losing by 3.
Yeah, we had 18 hits.
Yeah.
18 hits and we lost. Yep.
It's just, and this is when the pitching, I think, really caught up to us. And I felt after this game, I kind of didn't feel good for the Orioles in the series, and I guess I was right.
Yeah, I mean, the next game the Astros have their best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. For some reason, I don't want to talk about him that much, but Ronel Blanco, he's 8-2 record after this game. He beats Corbin Burns. We lose 5-1. Another frustrating game, but what can you say? Corbin's always going to give up at least 2. You scored 1.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we got to.
He gave up. Let's just also say, how many innings did he pitch this game? I don't have it down. Was it 5 or 6?
Check right now.
I think it was 6.
He pitched 7.
7. So
4.
Oh, that was loud.
Gave up 7. Yep. 7 innings, gave up 4.
He gave up. So let's just take that in consideration. He gave up 4 runs, which is the most he's given up in a game all season, and still got through 7 innings. Imagine that's any other pitcher on the Orioles. He's only going 5.
Yeah.
And how much more that hurts our bullpen.
Yeah.
That's why, even on his worst days, which it's unfortunate. I was telling you before, it's unfortunate he had his worst start of the year and our worst stretch of the year.
Yeah.
This is the time we need the ace to come in and kind of slam the door.
Yeah, because Ryan Baker, he only had to pitch 1 inning in this game, and that kind of closed out the game. So
yeah, exactly.
We only used 2 pitchers, especially when you see what ends up happening. Because the next game, we go in there again. Of course, guess what? We score 1. The Astros score 8. Albert Suarez started this game. Another frustrating game. Albert Suarez, whatever he did, fine, I guess. 5 innings, 5 runs, 10 hits.
Yeah.
It's just Tate just comes in, can't stop anything either.
You know what my favorite part about Suarez is, though?
What's that?
And it's crazy because I feel like he's been just doing terrible lately. He has a 2.70 ERA.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not saying
he was.
That's just how good he was at the beginning, and that's not me trying to say he's good right now. I don't have faith in him, but
yeah. The next game, so we end up. I'm trying to get rid of this series. We lose. We get swept by the Astros. That sucked.
At least I'd rather get swept by the Cardinals the way we did, where you could have felt like the way. If this had ended the streak right here, like this would have felt terrible.
Terrible, right? Then we go into a really difficult series. I think a series that many overlooked. And that's the Cleveland Guardians series. Yeah. Cleveland is one of the best teams in baseball right now.
They actually, I'm pretty sure currently they have the best record in the MLB.
Do they? Yeah. So we had Povich start this game. Sorry if I popped your ears there. Cade Povich started this game. So here's my issue with Cade Povich. He ends up losing. He goes 5 2/3, makes him 0-2 in the loss. I feel like he has the best 0-2 record on our staff. Yeah. Because he's pitching well. He's not doing bad. He gave up 3 runs. We went against a good pitcher in Tanner Bibee. And Bibee, I'm sorry. Tanner Bibee. And he just outpitched him. Tanner Bibee gives up 2 runs. And we end up losing 3-2 in this game because of Jacob Webb. No, we just end up 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The bullpen did good.
I just forgot.
I think
all these losses are starting to blend together, guys. It's just like
it's bad. It's hard though for the Guardians because they have the best bullpen in baseball. I don't know who's been watching these games, but I think it was this game. It was either this game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the 3-2 loss. Scott Barlow came in to close.
Yeah,
he's their worst player in their bullpen, and he has like a 3.70 ERA. That's that'd be one of our best ERAs in our bullpen out during this rough stretch.
Shoot.
Like we could really use that. Okay, sorry, it'd be one of our worst ERAs too, but not by as much as they have multiple people with like sub-1 ERAs.
Right.
I just wish they were doing bad so we could still trade for the car.
Frustrating. Yeah. And then on the 25th, which was Tuesday, we play the Guardians again in the second game of the series, and we lose again. This is one of those beautiful Cole Irvin starts, and just another frustrating day.
Yeah, really, really frustrating. He, I know I've been hot on Cole Irvin this whole season. He's starting to lose me. I'm kind of looking at it as maybe he's one of those pitchers that just struggles against good teams.
Yeah.
Which is obviously going to be scary come playoff time. But if that's the case, he really needs to bounce back soon. He pitches next series against Texas. I think that's his make or break series, whether, okay, he needs to be replaced or he's solidified his spot still. It's just it's getting rough. Our bullpen didn't do good. Our offense was great.
It was one of those things where I was watching the game and it was just like we'd scored, they'd scored 2.
Yeah.
We'd score 1, they'd score 2. It was just like
It always felt like they were like one up.
we win 10. I mean, we lose 10-8, and it's just, man, what a frustrating game. And McCann had some questionable things going on there.
Well, that's you know, I'll talk about McCann for a second because it's just this is my thing. So I know a lot of people aren't happy with McCann playing as much as he has, and I'm not either. And he's not been great this year. He had a great offensive game last night. We'll say that. But it's not his fault that he's playing this much. He doesn't make the lineups.
Right.
Really not happy with Brandon Hyde about that. Because can you tell me why he's starting over anyone else at this point?
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me Colton Cowser against lefty would be better.
Yeah.
Put Mullins in. Put Cowser in. Even though they're the lefty pitcher, they could both start in the same game.
Yeah.
You call Kerstead up. I know you want to hide him for lefties. Try him out. What's it gonna hurt?
Right. Well, or if we have a DH spot open, why don't we put Mayo in there or put somebody like that in there, right? Like Norby.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, and this is also my thing.
I mean, I'm trying to think of righties.
No, I know.
That's my thing.
And I don't even care about that right now. It's also my thing is that you have McCann, who I will say, he's probably an above average backup catcher.
Yeah.
Like, he could probably go start for, like, the Marlins or something like that. But when you have a top 2 catcher, offensively and defensively, how are you not playing him back to... McCann's played both games of the series.
Yeah.
You just can't have that.
Right. Yeah, very frustrating. Very frustrating. But yeah, so it's just been really frustrating the past week. What's the record that you were saying earlier?
Yeah, so it's before we got swept and stuff. We were 20-6 after we got swept by the Cardinals. So it kind of goes to show that we can really bounce back strong. 20-6 is very impressive. We've had a very impressive month of June up until this point.
Yeah.
And even when you look at the month as a whole, we've lost. We still have won more games than we lost this month.
Yeah. And
I think it's just, oh no, you come up against a tough stretch. Like, the only way you can compare the stretch is this is a stretch you could imagine. Like, this is a realistic playoff stretch.
Yeah, that's good.
Like you got to think the Guardians, Astros, and Yankees all have a very, very good shot at making it to the playoffs. And we could easily play all 3 of them in a playoff series. If we're a wildcard team, we could play all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then you also think we played Braves and Phillies. Those are 2 World Series contenders.
Yeah.
Really, if you just throw the Dodgers in, and that's probably the 2024 playoffs.
I think the thing that hurts the most as an Orioles fan is knowing how close you were to taking lead in the AL East.
Yeah.
I mean, you were half a game. And, I mean, we're only 2 games back, guys. So, I mean, the Yankees have lost 2. Their in-town rivals have really helped us out in the New York Mets there. Our DJ Stewart over there in New York. Hey, dude, keep hitting boppers. But the last 10 games, the Yankees are 3-7. We're 4-6. Yeah. The difference here, guys, I'll tell you, a team to kind of like keep an eye on. I don't think they last. The Red Sox are they're
looking really good, and they're a team that this next couple of weeks are going to be important for, because I think I think the Orioles and Yankees, there's one thing we can unite on. We kind of need them to hold on, because we all know how trade works. They're not going to trade to the Yankees or the Orioles because they're in division. They have a lot of pitchers that they'd probably be willing to part with if they start doing bad. Who are they going to give it to? The Guardians, the Astros, teams that need it that aren't the Orioles or Yankees. Yeah. So it's just, I kind of want them to keep doing good and then just fall off after the deadline. Or if they make the playoffs and lose, I really don't care. Yeah. I need them to hold on to their players unless they're going to trade them to us, which I really doubt.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
that's kind of one of those situations where you have to kind of root for someone there, and you kind of want them to do better.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to do something a little different today because, as you see, we kind of went through really quickly on all those box scores. So the biggest thing I want to talk about today is we're going to kind of rank our pitching. Everybody knows that we're kind of like an all-star season, especially Little League Baseball. All-Stars is in full effect. We got the All-Star game coming up, so make sure you vote for your Orioles there. So we're going to do 1 to 3 stars. 1 star meaning we don't feel great about them at all. And 3 stars means we fully trust them in almost any situation. In any situation. 3 stars is any situation. 2 stars would be the almost any.
Yeah.
But there is not a no star because, we're in 2024, so we can't, use red pen. Can't say, can't say you're dumb.
Yeah.
No, you never should have
Can't
said.
toss out the dunce cap.
Yeah, can't do nothing.
Well, should we? Should we give a dunce cap to the one person that we just don't like?
Man, it's just,
You'd give it to Cole Irvin, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I'm just going to move on.
But, okay.
All right. So, all right. Let's run on through our 5 starting pitchers. Okay. I'm going to ask you first, and then I'll answer second. Makes sense? All right. So we got Corbin Burns.
3 stars.
3 stars.
Let's
move on. That's not even. He's best pitcher. One best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah. I was looking actually before though. He has, I believe, 5th best ERA in the American League, and it's all really close. He's beaten out by 0.01 point by Ronel Blanco, who's thrown considerably less innings than him. And the pitchers before him, could you even name 3 of the pitchers that are higher, have a lower ERA than him? Guarantee you could. Tariq Skubal, Tanner Houck.
I didn't know that.
And Seth Lugo. They've all having great. Tariq Skubal probably.
Seth Lugo had one bad game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we beat him. Anyway, moving on. The next guy is Grayson Rodriguez.
I still give him 3. I'm afraid I'm going to give out too much 2s and 1s, so I'm giving him a 3. I think.
I mean, who else would I want?
Well, that's.
You know what I mean? No, that's what I mean.
That's what I mean. Like, if you're gonna he's pitching against.
Sometimes I gotta remember, if I was a Guardians fan right now, I'm like, oh gosh, we gotta face.
Yeah, you don't want to see Cookie Carrasco versus Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That's not an even match. If Corbin isn't here, he's still our ace.
Yes.
He's still an ace caliber pitcher.
Boy, Michael Elias, thank God for that trade. All right, moving on. Albert Suarez.
I think it's a 1 at this point.
All right, I'll give him a 2.
Would you like to explain your 2?
I just give him a 2 because I don't think he's pitching that bad. I think he's not giving up more than 4 runs. Yeah. He's always kind of giving you 5 innings, 4 to 5. I'm gonna give him a 2 until he has one more bad game. One more bad game, it goes to 1.
Yeah, I think if he has one more bad game, he's not a starting pitcher anymore.
Okay, I believe it.
That's kind of how I stand.
Cole Irvin,
2.
1. Me and you have always been the opposite of Albert Suarez and Cole Irvin. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Cole Irvin, I think. So here's my problem though, because I've learned to love him a little bit because I watch his interviews and everything, and he's a great dude.
You hear me talk about him constantly.
But no, I mean, I don't care about it. But I've been watching him closer and closer throughout the season, and he's as pissed off as we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's very upfront, and I love that. There's nothing I know. Guys, don't turn this off, okay? But we're Cowboys fans, and the worst thing I used to hate was Jason Garrett when he was our coach. He was always so positive.
Yeah.
I wanted you. If times are bad, tell me. I want to know that that this sucks. You know what I mean? And Cole Irvin, I listened to his interview the other night after he started pitching, and he was as ticked off as we were. He's like, it was terrible. We can't have that. So you give him a 2? Okay.
I give him 2 for the same reason.
Because he's a lefty.
No, for the same reason Suarez gives, you give Suarez a 2.
He gave up 8 runs. What on the world? How many more runs do you want him to give up?
I say one more start, and it's a 1. Just like you said for Suarez. How many more runs can Suarez give up?
Moving on.
That's what I thought.
We're going to go to Cade Povich.
Cade Povich, 2.
I'm 2.5.
No, you said 1, 2, or 3 stars. You can't break your own rules, Cody. No, it's a 2 or a 3. And I think one more good start, and it's probably a 3.
I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to say the same thing, and I just don't want to agree with you, but I think you're right. But I feel confident when he comes in.
I feel like I told you a little bit before we started recording. I take Povich as my 3rd starter in this rotation right now, which is crazy to think because when he comes in, he has 1 bad inning and scatters some runs is what he's done recently. But his problem is he pitches too cute, and he's trying to hit the court. If he's just going out there, he throws a 92-mile-an-hour fastball that rises and appears like it's so much faster. No one can seem to hit it somehow. It's 92 miles an hour, which is not fast. But his other pitches are very complementary to it, and he has this stuff. He has the stuff to be a postseason starter.
Who looks better in their first 3 starts, 4 starts? Who looks better? Cade Povich or Grayson Rodriguez from last year?
Cade Povich, 100%.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
Yeah.
for real, everybody. Like, I mean, remember last year when was it the Rangers game?
I remember because it was Rangers game. I think it was around Memorial Day weekend or something like that.
And it was awful.
And he gave up like 10 runs or something like that.
It's terrible. Yeah, and Cade Povich hasn't had one of those games yet.
No, and Cade Povich, he had a rough first. He did have a rough start, but he's definitely found his way. I think he's starting to find a role, and that's good enough.
I agree. Let's go to relief pitchers, everybody. All right. Brian Baker.
Brian Baker. You know what? I'll give him a 3.
I give him a 2.
He's been our best reliever since he's been called up.
I know, but his name's Brian Baker, and he's just
second.
Not very sexy.
He was one of our.
He doesn't pitch very sexy.
He was one of our best relievers in 2022. I don't know if you guys remember that. His changeup was unhittable. He had a really,
it was 2 years ago, right? It was 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were talking up Dylan Tate this entire preseason. That he didn't pitch till point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cionel Perez.
1.
2. Give him a 2.
Cionel Perez is. I don't like him right now.
Okay.
I hate the lefties in our bullpen so much. Him and Keegan Aiken are probably my 2 scariest people in the bullpen.
Craig Kimbrell.
You know what? I'll give him a 3, just because I think I'm also taking it comparatively to the rest of our bullpen. I think for his role, he's a 3.
Okay.
If you take him outside of that, he's not got many save opportunities lately, but I think he's been doing good. His strikeout numbers are still up. I think he's balanced back out from the real amazing start to the bad start of what he's at expectation right now. That's why I give him a 3.
I give him a 2. I'm always holding my breath when he pitches. Dylan Tate.
A 2.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want to give him a 3, but he doesn't deserve a 3 right now.
He's kind of bipolar. Yeah. He'll go out there and give you 2 innings, no runs, or he'll give up 3. It's just he is Mike Bauman right now.
Yeah. Jacob Webb.
A 3.
I give him a 3 also.
Yeah.
I do. Jacob Webb, every 7th game he'll have a bad one.
Yeah. And it just happened that like one of his most recent ones was that one.
Yeah.
His ERA is slowly climbing back up because, like, I think a couple weeks ago, it was at like a 1.5. That's just unsustainable.
And I feel like the higher the situation, the better he does. Like, don't bring him in up by 3.
Him 6th inning,
up by 3.
You can't do that.
Or down by 3.
No.
Because he's going to do terrible.
It's got to be like a 1-2 run game.
Bases loaded, no outs, put Jacob Webb in, he somehow gets out.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing.
Instead of, I'm assuming the next guy you're going to say.
The next guy is Keegan Aiken.
Okay, never mind. That's not what
Sorry.
Aiken, 1.
Yeah, 1. Anything less.
Because my problem is he's the opposite of Webb. It's every fourth appearance is good.
Yeah.
The other ones are bad.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he'll have his 3 innings of 0 earned runs.
Yeah.
And then everything else he's just too scared. He's getting wins somehow. He'll give up 2 home runs and get a win. I don't get it.
Nick Vespi,
a 2. Optimistic 2 though.
Yeah, I give him a 2. He's a 1 ERA now.
He's done really good and he's finally getting an opportunity to be here. I don't think it's going to last long, which is sad. But I'm at the point where
he deserves to be here.
He's a lefty.
Yeah.
If we call up, see when Kramer comes back from injury, if we need to send someone back from the bullpen, I'd rather send down Aiken than Vespi.
And last one, obviously, we all know who this is. Yannick Cano.
This would be my 2.5, but I'll give him a 3.
Yeah, I think you have to give him a 3.
My problem is
out of this whole
he's one of the ones that's just used in wrong situations.
Yeah, out of this whole group, though, I think he's the best one in the whole bullpen.
Yeah, him and Webb.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the best talent.
2 outs, bottom of the 9th, you need 1 more out. Who you bring in?
Cano or Kimbrell.
Yeah, because Cano's going to get the ball on the ground.
See, that's the problem. They don't
except for the Stanton one. Was it Stanton?
He threw it. I mean, this is my thing with him though, is that Hyde doesn't bring him in the right situation in my mind. Like the other day when what was it, the Philly series when they brought in Perez instead of keeping him in. Just there's stuff like that you have to, for all the analytics that are out there, you have to know if you have a runner on third, 1 out, don't bring in Cano. That's a Kimbrell spot where you want strikeouts or something like that.
Right.
You can't have a ground ball pitcher because sometimes it's weak, but it's too weak and you allow, or it's too fast. And you can't bring him in with bases loaded either because a lot of times he gives up, the first runner gets on somehow.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I think we all can see where our biggest need is, right? We need 1 starter. I don't see the starter out there that we need though. That's, I just real quick, everybody, I'm going to have my Debbie Downer moment. So just be prepared. When I keep trying to not overthink this, but I'm looking at this team and I'm just like, do you go out and do you trade a bunch of pieces to try to get whatever you can get this year, or is this not the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your best pitcher is your second best pitcher is done. You lost another really good pitcher. Your young guys are still going to just keep getting better and better.
Yeah. I think the one problem.
I mean, I'm open to.
No. I completely agree with everything you said so far. I think the problem is that you have Bradish and Means and Wells.
Yeah.
They're not even going to be back by next year.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They're because it's so late they got the surgery. They're out a year and a half now.
Right.
And all I'm saying is I don't know what free agents are out there. I either think
and we lose Burns after this year.
Yeah, I think this is a problem. I think if you're Elias, you need to really think, and I'm sure they do. They have the Orioles front office is brilliant, but you really have to decide is this the 4-year go for it? And I think they kind of have done that. And the good thing is because of our young core, we don't have to buy a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But you either have to be willing to sacrifice, and this is what I was telling you, is that it's going to be, if the deadline's going to be really bad for a lot of Orioles fans for two different ways. Either we do nothing and people are mad, or we do so much that there's a lot of guys that you didn't want to see go. Like I was telling you, I could see it very possible that we lose Kjerstad, Stowers, Norby, and maybe a Trace Bright type guy.
Mm-hmm.
All
Dylan
Beavers, Judd Fabian. Nate. I know you were talking about Kobe Mayo. I really hope he doesn't get traded, but that's the guy you can see. Ramon Arias could be gone. I will tell you right now, if this is a go for year, Tony's gone.
Yeah.
Because he's also a rental. That's where you could see a swap happen. Give Tony up for a reliever and some other prospect.
Well, that would hurt, wouldn't it?
It sure would. Because
especially when he hits one on the Utah shirt against us in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, this is my thing. I mean, look at the Guardians. I was telling you, this guy never heard of Johnsky Noel or something like that. Hit a home run against us, I guess, on Wednesday tonight.
Yeah.
But who's that? Why is he starting for the Guardians, who are a playoff team? That's a team that has plenty of bullpen pitching.
Yeah.
That would love to have a switch hitting power bat.
Right.
And it's just, it's going to be, I think, a bittersweet deadline. I've been thinking that for a while now. And
yeah,
I don't know. It's real scary.
Yeah, just super frustrating.
But
Dean Kramer starts again for Norfolk on Thursday. This is his last start, no matter what they said. So he's coming back after the start. That's what Hyde said, at least. So
we hope.
Yes, take that for what it is. And hopefully, guys, the next time we come on, we have a little bit better news. I mean, what sucks is since we've been on, we beat we'll take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees.
Felt like we're top of the world.
We have the Guardians on tonight, which is Wednesday night. Then we go to the Rangers, who I don't think they're. I don't think you can just forget about them.
No, absolutely not. They're still. They dealt with a lot of injuries, but they're still the defending world champions. There's a reason that they won it last year.
And then we got a kind of a difficult series coming next week with the Mariners.
Yeah,
Seattle's a pretty good baseball team, and hopefully we can just keep on keeping on, get back on top. We're gonna have a short turnaround before the next time we see you. So hopefully we see you at the first game of the Mariners series next week. But boy, we hope we have. We're in much better spirits. We shouldn't be. Everybody else wishes they had our record, except for obviously the Yankees.
Yeah, that's.
But so it's not been terrible.
No, it has been. I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled Orioles fan. It's been terrible.
It's been terrible.
This has been a bad week, and I think every Orioles fan knows it. And you just hope luckily, this is the good part of our rotation, and we really need Wednesday night is G-Rod's pitching, and then Thursday you got Burns. I think that's
boom.
We need 7 innings from both of them. We need this bullpen needs a rest. We have, luckily, after this Texas series, a day off, and hopefully that can bring us back, but
we'll see.
I don't know. I think moves are going to be made to whether it's Suarez to the bullpen or Irvin's getting Chase McDermott comes up for MLB debut spot start. Just something, anything. Trace Bright comes up to fill the bullpen or anything. Like, just something has to happen.
I hope so, guys. All right. Well, everybody, we can't thank you enough for joining us on another episode here on the Utah Street Banter. like always, make sure you like, subscribe, follow all of our pages. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on X.
Instagram.
We're on Instagram. Message us any questions you guys have. One of my favorite comments so far was a guy had told me to get on you about, he was excited to hear me ream you about Cole Irvin. I was really nice, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
If you someone you cared about, I would do the same thing for you.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so
go vote for your O's.
yeah, definitely.
We got vote for 3 or 4 starters right now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So
Keep voting.
yeah, definitely make them feel loved. And also, hopefully we pack the yard out.
Yeah, I know Saturday's sold out already. Go pack out Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday.
It's a Sunday Night Baseball.
They moved the game back. It was originally at 1 o'clock. They moved it back to 7 for Sunday night. Pack the yard for Sunday Night Baseball.
And you're welcome because it's gonna be like 100 on Sunday.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
luckily Sunday night it'll be a nice and cool new 4. You know. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all your support, and I guess we will see you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
See you guys.